Alright, so today is the first day that I have been able to work out in my garage for quite some time. It's been a little bit cold in Arizona, and it kind of warmed up today to around 60, so I was able to get in there and get some work done. Here I'm just doing my warm-up sets. What's good about video recording yourself and watching yourself perform the movement is that you can sort of identify some of the issues that you have that may be hurting your performance. So for me in particular, I'm going to be talking a little bit about what's called the butt wink. Okay, so the butt wink is once you drop below parallel, there's an issue going on in your posterior chain that pulls the bottom half of your butt in. And what happens when that occurs is that you lose that neutral spinal position. And I'll show it to you here soon, but really what I'm doing is just warming up. Yes, I am wearing sunglasses. The sun comes in a little low and angles right into my garage, and you can't see jack shit. You'll see in some of the camera shots how bright the sun is. So here is the last warm-up single. It's 275. I do it beltless just because I like try and use the warm-up sets as a way to strengthen the core. But here as I descend into the squat, you'll see the butt wink right there, and then it evens out as I come back up. Two causes: either you have tight hamstrings or you have an issue with your ankle flexion. Here I'm wearing the belt, and what you'll notice is that with the increase in core support, the butt wink isn't as prominent. And I'm not sure what biomechanic thing it is that makes it that way. I just know that it's not there. So here you'll see, going down to the squat, I'm wearing the belt, and you just don't, there it is right there, but it's not as bad as when I didn't have the belt on. So again, that's an issue that's going on in my posterior chain. And the workout for today was, I think it was 4 sets of 3 at 330. So yeah, so that's just pretty much it. So far, still loving the belt. When I woke up this morning, I noticed that I had some bruising on my side, so the belt is definitely digging in, and it does not feel good. Another thing that I like to look at, especially since I plan on competing upcoming summer, is that I want to focus on my squat depth. Now, some people say that you should go below parallel. Some people say that you should go to parallel. When you compete, you have to go below parallel, meaning the crease of your hips has to descend below the top part of your knee. So that's something that's pretty crucial, and that I want to make sure that that's the way that I'm training, because the way that you train is the way that you're going to perform. So here's a different camera angle. The sun's pretty bright coming in. Like I said earlier, I was trying to get a good shot on squat depth, but I wasn't able to, so I just sped up the camera here. But you can see that even in the shadow, it looks like I'm going below parallel. So that's good news. I'm not going as low as I would like to go, because as you can see in this shot, and where I'm gonna have to draw a line with with a better lighting, I hit just below. And for me, it doesn't feel like I'm hitting just below. It feels like it's a deep squat for me. But when I draw the line from the top of my knee to the hip crease, it's not very it's not a lot lower than what I was thinking, and that's fine, And here we're gonna see like my heels come up right there. You'll see the heels come up, and that's part of, so I think for me it's the ankle issue that's causing the butt wink, and not the tight hamstrings. I'm not a huge stretcher, but I'm gonna definitely start working on my ankle mobility. So here, the workout called for 3 sets of 6 to 10 front squats. Now, I absolutely hate doing front squats, so how am I going to get a quad exercise? I do behind the back deadlifts. Now, they're not really awkward. I think it's just getting it up around your ass that makes this awkward, but it forces you to kind of be up a little bit on your toes as you stand up with the weight, which definitely flexes the hips. Almost lost my balance there. So it's a little bit more difficult than, I would say, a front squat, but I personally just do not like doing front squats. They hurt my elbows, they hurt my fingers, they hurt my wrist, and I can't do it the way where people sort of cross their arms in front of them and hold the weight up like that. That doesn't really feel right for me, so I just don't like to do it. So this was my alternative. I feel like I can get the same benefit from this as I can from front squats. It's also working out my lower back, and it's also working out my grip. So that's all good. Coming into some good mornings. One of my main goals when I started this program was I really wanted to work on my lower back core. So good mornings are going to play a huge role in that. I'm using my 5-foot bar. I'm not going to use a 7-foot bar, but I'm using my 5-foot bar with 50 pounds on it. And trust me when I say that that's heavy enough. So good mornings are really easy to mess up, and they can hurt you really bad if you don't do it right. So what I'm trying to do is just make sure that I slightly bend at the knees, and then, you know, bend down forward. The issue that I was having was that the bar kept rolling up onto my neck. So here I put the bar a little lower like I was doing a low bar squat, and then I actually, you know, force of habit kind of descended into a quarter squat. But really this is all I'm doing. I just want to make sure that I work on my lower posterior chain. So I think if I can fix my ankle flexion with my lower back, I can definitely increase the stability of my squat, which will increase the weight of my squat. In this third set of good mornings, you can sort of see form breakdown because I'm doing 3 sets of 10. This, you know, my lower back isn't exactly an advantage that I have, so you can see that I'm starting to round a little bit, especially like up in my shoulders. And the reason why you can see it in my shoulders a lot more for me is not because I have a really strong upper back, but I have a really a really weak lower back. And I think what's happening is that it just worked its way up. So I have a little bit of rounding right there, you saw it, a little bit of rounding in my lower back, and it sort of compromises everything up. So my shoulders start rolling forward because my lower back starts rounding out. So this right here is a little ghetto, so don't judge. All right, I'm not going to spend $200-300 on a lat machine, so I pretty much just built mine in my own garage. Everything I bought for like $20. So if you have a drill, $20, you can pretty much make this lat pull down. So I was supposed to do bent over rows. I don't really like bent over rows that much, so I'm just going to do some close grip pull downs, which to me, I think are a little bit more beneficial. Let's see here. On this exercise, I think it was 115 pounds. Unlike the gym machine, this is only attached to one pulley, so you're actually pulling 115 pounds. When you use the gym machines, there's usually 2 or 3 pulleys, which your mechanical advantage sort of reduces the, you know, the feeling of the weight. So this is 115 pounds of force needed to pull 115 pounds off the ground. You go to the gym, and if it has 2 pulleys, it's about half that or less than half that. And if it has more than 2 pulleys, well then you're not really working yourself out. So that's pretty much it. The rest of the workout was just this, and then I did a little bit of bicep work, which I didn't record. But yeah, so overall it was a really good workout. You know, I was in there for quite a while. So just real quick, these are the supplements that I take. I don't really like to take all the expensive shit because I don't believe in most of it. But I do believe wholeheartedly in BCAAs and creatine and, of course, protein. So, you know, that's really it. I don't like to go to the store and spend $70, $80 on freaking protein. And, you know, I just get the cheap shit from Walmart. It has 60 grams of protein, and that's good enough for me. BCAAs, I love it for your energy. Oh, there's some fruit there. And, of course, your Nutri Ninja. This thing will mix protein like a champ.